Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. After a very long week of waiting from episode 3, Mousetrap is out. Let's get into this. Jim answers the voice on the phone. I actually like his reaction. It wasn't the standard, "Oh my god, my dead son's calling me." He's obviously dismissive of the voice, with it telling him that Julie and Ethan shouldn't be outside this close to dark. Quite a cool moment, kinda chilling when Jim realizes. Boyd is still talking some crazy stuff about imprisoning one of the smiley creatures, also being forced to fill Donna in, with Donna's reaction being exactly what you would expect. Although it could be an opportunity to learn about them, realistically, all I feel it would do is try to rile people up. Fatima is still struggling with eating anything or even drinking coffee. Well, almost anything, because rotting vegetables seem to really do the trick. Of course, until Tilly finds her having a munch. Jim has a bit of a freak out at Ethan, and I really like that theme in this episode, almost like Jim's losing it. Hell, he might be, we don't know. These phone calls might not actually be happening. But once again, the phone rings, and this time Jim has no interest in talking to Thomas. Returning to Henry and Tabitha, although we saw it in the trailers, we learn there's a bottle tree in the backyard. Although it's a replica, the original is where Henry dropped acid with his wife, and also where his wife's vision started. We get a scene with Boyd with Father Cuttree once again appearing to him. This is very consistent at the moment, with Cuttree appearing every few episodes. Much like the phone calls, we don't know whether this is in Boyd's head. Cuttree is actually appearing to him, or the town is manifesting itself. Tilly approaches Fatima about her extracurriculars, telling her that she used to lick eggshells. However, liking some raw egg and eating rotten vegetables are two very different things. There's a theory that Tilly isn't who she says she is, and she's in alliance with this place, at least in some regard. I think that theory is becoming more and more likely, and she's clearly trying to get closer to Fatima. Jade, while out not really helping the town people collect the crops, but they're all the same, has a vision of what looks like, just from the style of his clothing, probably one of the settlers of the village nailed to a tree. Almost like a warning, with him freaking Jade out and Jade running into the woods, with Christy pursuing him, getting stuck in a bear trap. In order to get more leverage to open the trap, Jade runs off to take a part of the effigies, which I'm sure can only go well. They do get Christy out while doing so, however Jade sees our settler drinking blood out of a skull, also offering it to him, almost seemingly proposing something. Is it possible that the effigies aren't meant to keep something out, but maybe to keep something in? Dude's nailed to the tree, trapped. Jade pulls apart an effigy, and the guy's no longer stuck to the tree. This might be a stretch, but it feels like this would make sense. Tilly gives Fatima a tarot card reading, or attempts to, which, yeah, seems like an evil Tilly thing to do. When beginning the reading, the crows immediately fly through the window, going crazy. We don't return to this reading, but something clearly doesn't want this reading to happen. We get to see a bit more of Randall this episode, with him hallucinating what appears to be cicadas. There's clearly still some damage in the three sacrifices' minds, which I don't believe we've seen the last of. I think that will play probably a big part in the future. However, like most things in this show, I'm just not really sure how it fits into everything yet. With Henry and Tabitha, we learn two things. Miranda's favourite song was Blue, the same favourite song as Jim and Tabitha. We once again see the bracelet that Tabitha made return, with Miranda apparently making it with Henry. Due to finding this bracelet, Tabitha obviously freaks out, believing that this place is pretty much still playing games with her, unfortunately causing Henry to crash. The two end up in an ambulance, with the driver mentioning that there's a tree in the road, seemingly it all beginning again. This likely brings an end to Tabitha's story in Maine, and will likely mean that in the next episode she may be reunited with her family. However, the only thing I can think of is that the goal of her being in Maine was simply to bring Henry to the town, because nothing else seemed to be achieved. She didn't realistically learn anything, at least nothing of extreme importance. The only thing that's changed is now Henry is in the town. My current best theory with this is that it's some kind of reincarnation or time loop. The two families are exactly the same: mother, father, daughter, son. The sons, Victor and Ethan, are similar. They both see the boy in white, much like the two mothers. The father seems to be helpless, at least in most senses, no offense meant, Jim. However, the two daughters, I don't know what the links are there. We don't know much about Victor's sister, so I'm not too sure yet. Jade is definitely a very interesting character at the moment. When he does have these visions, it's almost always one male who seems to act as some kind of warning. It's possible if the time loop or reincarnation theory is right, then these are past iterations of himself. Alright, man, my brain hurts. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye.